ये सब बस एक दिन अचानक ही शुरू हुआ। I was really bored playing PUBG and GTA 5 after hour और अब कुछ नया चाहिए था। Then I thought यार अगर किसी गेम में हिंदी में डायलॉग हो तो वो कैसा एक्सपीरियंस होगा। I mean, wouldn't that be fun? Now this has happened in a few games, in few levels set in India. Hitman 2, Far Cry 4.
Whatever happens, क्या कर रहा है? हाँ? What are you, some kind of stalker? देखो इसे, चूतिया, he thinks he can fight. Don't let him.
Now all this is really enjoyable, but I guess इससे तो कुछ ज़्यादा चाहिए था. So I googled, लेकिन एक गूगल सर्च बाद ख़त्म. मतलब हालत इतनी बुरी है कि शायद लिटरली कोई गेम नहीं है, और इनफैक्ट इतनी बुरी कि कोरा पे भी इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर्स नहीं है. आई मीन कोरा पे तो हर क्वेश्चन के आंसर होते हैं यार. अब या तो इंतज़ार करें कि कोई ऐसा गेम बना दे या फिर एंड हियर मी आउट, दिस इज़ अ टोटली रिडिकुलस आइडिया, बट अपना खुद का ही गेम बना दे. Okay, wait a minute. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How do you make a game? Now it seems really impossible, and in fact so impossible that honestly I was about to give up. It is here I found Unity. A game engine which uses C# programming language. Okay, I think I can take care of C#. So what else do we need here? I mean, after I have a game engine, कितना ही मुश्किल होगा. Okay, और क्या क्या आना चाहिए? I think I may have underestimated this one. एक मिनट थोड़ा शुरू से शुरू करते हैं. I guess पहले कुछ बेसिक बनाते हैं. So after exploring Unity for 4-5 days, we've got a first working first-person shooter prototype. So the player can look around and he can also move in this 3D space, or he can also kill them. So let's kill them. Bam. Bam. Now that was amazing. अब मैं हमेशा से एक थर्ड पर्सन कैमरा वाला गेम बनाना चाहता था. द थिंग विद थर्ड पर्सन कैमरा गेम्स इज देयर आर मोर एनिमेशंस इन्वॉल्व्ड. सो जब भी वो चलता है, घूमता है, कूदता है, यू हैव टू एनिमेट एवरी स्टेट. सो दिस इंक्रीजेस द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी टाइम. But after spending 4-5 days more and hundreds of lines of codes later and few animation states later, we got our third person prototype ready. Added the run animations, basic movement controls, jump animation, jump mechanic, punch mechanic, kick mechanic, and destructible environments. It was everything was going really smooth and I was making quick progress until suddenly this happened. Now you might say that you have simply missed the character controller settings. You just gotta fix that और उससे काम हो जाएगा. Which is exactly what I did, और उससे काम नहीं हुआ. अब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हम तो अब एक रनिंग गेम बना ही नहीं रहे और एक स्विमिंग गेम बना रहे हैं, और ये बग नई फंक्शनैलिटी है विच वुड बी अ जीनियस मूव, बट ये बग तो फिक्स करना ही होगा. सो आई स्पेंड अराउंड 3-4 hours सर्चिंग थ्रू द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन एंड मेकिंग मेजर कोड चेंजेस, एंड नाउ आई थिंक इट शुड वर्क. लेट्स सी. Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night I can feel my brain. The neurons I've lost, the hours I've lost, the documentation I've read. It won't stop hurting. You can feel it too, don't you? And then I found the solution. अब जब फाइनली हमारे बेसिक कंट्रोल्स कोड हो गए, लेट्स इम्प्रूव आवर ग्राफिक्स. फॉर दिस we'll use Unity's यूनिवर्सल रेंडर पाइपलाइन. तो बेसिकली अब हमारे ग्राफिक्स कुछ बेहतर दिखेंगे. ओके, यूनिवर्सल रेंडर पाइपलाइन हैज इट्स ओन शेडर्स जो मैंने चेंज नहीं किए थे. आई फिक्स्ड इट. नाउ इट सीम्स टू बी वर्किंग फाइन. सो लेट्स गेट सम पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग इफेक्ट. शेडर्स basically define the color of every pixel. So now the game looks a lot better, but there's something missing. Something elemental. नहीं 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 नहीं, ये नहीं था, कुछ अलग था. You know what? It was something like a dash, a blast, super eye lasers, super shield, super slow motion, super inversion, super block smasher, You wanna know how I did it, right? Okay. Let's get into it. So the first step was figuring out animations. Basically what happens is that on press of different keys, different animations are triggered. So whenever the user presses jump key or kick key or blast key or dash key, different animations are triggered as seen in the animator frame. However, this technique isn't the most ideal one, और ऐसा कुछ होता है machine states करके that transitions a character into different animation states with different machine states. So हमारा animator graph ऐसा नहीं बल्कि और organized और robust लगे और work करे. Next step was figuring out dash. So initially what I did was that change the position of the player in that frame itself. लेकिन उससे होता ये था कि player दूसरी जगह एकदम से प्रकट हो जाता था, जो कि हमें नहीं चाहिए. What we want is a smooth, fast transition, and it is here I found lerp. Lerp stands for linear interpolation, और basically ये करता है कि एकदम से transition की जगह एक smooth transition होता है. And I think lerp is used in every computer application जहाँ पे भी कोई slider हो and you change the values through a slider, be it speed, color, saturation. For the blast functionality, I'm using a certain sphere overlap function. फिर करता है कि 3D space में एक sphere construct करता है और उसके अंदर जो भी चीज़ें होती हैं उनको return करता है. इसके बाद I apply a force on those objects and enter a smooth animation and particle effects, and voila! For the super lasers, I create a bullet particle in front of the character's eye, add to that particle effects and muzzle flash, and we've got a bullet. अभी दिखने में काफी आसान लग रहा है, but actually it's more complicated because of quaternions. Now I'm not gonna pretend that I understand quaternions fully, but ऐसा कुछ होता है कि these are 4-dimensional quantities used to represent rotation of 3D objects. So in a complex number system, we represent quantities as 2-dimensional quantities. There's a real part and there's an imaginary part. लेकिन quaternions में क्या है कि एक रियल के साथ 3 इमेजिनरी पार्ट्स और हैं, and these imaginary parts are perpendicular to that real part, and I guess they are really complicated stuff. इसको कई mathematicians ने positive evil और unmixed evil कहा है. You can understand it's something not really pretty. अब quaternions use क्यों करते हैं? Because computationally these are faster, errors are less, and that's it. As for the blocks, I create blocks in different manners depending upon the different press of keys, and this power in combination gives a really cool effect. Shields बनाने के लिए मुझे अपना एक custom shader बनाना पड़ा. I don't fully understand shaders now, but ये कुछ ऐसा लगता है. Now let me zoom out. Yeah, so we implement करना पड़ा, which definitely took some time, but looks really smooth. Surprisingly, slow motion implement करना relatively easy रहा, and this is the only piece of code related to triggering slow motion. So basically what we are doing here is we are changing the frame rate of the game, sort of, and looks really smooth. Add to that some post-processing effect, and I think it looks visually pleasing. Inversion was a bit complicated. यहाँ पे हम सारे objects की positions और rotations को store करें across frames, and on press of the key, we are just changing their positions back to the positions they were stored. That's it. Here was my first try at making an unnamed action game like Prototype product. If you're still watching the video till now, thanks. And yes, please subscribe. मेरा next target एक अच्छा robust third person shooter mechanic implement करने का है. Currently the intent is to just make something that is really fun to play, जिसको खेलने में simply मजा आए. I've really enjoyed whatever progress I have made till now, but अब realize हुआ कि actually making a game is a really hard process. क्योंकि यहाँ पे इतने सारे components हैं. And whenever we play a game, we take things for granted. But जब भी कोई interaction होता है गेम में, कुछ भी होता है, someone actually sat and coded that or created that, whatever. There are just so many parts in the machinery. You've got the actual code base, gameplay mechanic, graphic, sound, design, shaders, AI. There's so much to learn, which will take months, probably years. And I've barely scratched the surface. I'll be posting more videos on the progress I make, and if you're interested in this sort of stuff, consider subscribing. अब मुझे नहीं पता कि ये गेम कभी actually complete मैं कर भी पाऊंगा नहीं, क्या होगा, कैसा होगा. But one thing I know, better things are coming.